Well, we're not live on Twitter today. They kept sending me rejects for Twitter.
Oh, bummer. Bummer.
So all the people who really freely want to hear free speech will not hear from us today.
Holy
We're
cow.
only live on the channels that believe in controlled speech. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm just going ahead. Here we go. Save. Okay. I've got this up. Huh. 5 days we'll lose access.
Can we pick? Wait a minute. Can we pick on different things today or no?
So, welcome everyone. This is the Business G-Spot. My name is Katrina Garcia, and I'm with KG Website Designs, and my partner in crime is... when you've got
to watch. This is how I know how to find you, all right? Having all this stuff behind me helps. I know that if I want to talk to you, I got to point this way. So how you doing?
Well, here's the thing. I changed my location of the computer, and so that's the reason why. So I got to point this way is to the wall, and this way is away from the wall, and this way is to
Oh, no. That's where you are. On my...
No, I'm here. I'm here.
This is why I have all this. It's why I don't have two identical guitars. It's why I have different guitars so I know which way to point.
I'm right here. And you have our logos in the wrong spot. There you go. Now you're in the right spot.
See, now you're over here.
Now you're in the right spot.
I can make it work and then put us this way.
Oh, what fun. All I'm saying is this has been a challenging week. I quit. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Is everybody else getting dizzy?
If you are watching still and you believe in this myth called life, let me tell you.
What did you say?
So I said to my wife, Bruce, that mustache has got to go. Mixed marriages never work. On the other hand, it works.
Oh my gosh.
That was my best friend in high school, Jim Saylor. God, Jim, I don't know where you are, but God bless you. Jim used to say that. That was his line. When someone would start rattling off something, and Jim would just say that like it was nothing. So I said to my wife, Bruce, that mustache has got to go. Mixed marriages never work.
There was a joke my uncle said while his wife was sitting there, and he was serious about the whole joke, talking about meeting this woman and blah, 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 blah. And at the end, she's getting pissed. I mean, pissed. By the end of the joke, she says, somebody asked him a question. He said, no, she came from Jamaica. I never touched her, or something of that nature. His wife, I thought she was going to kill him. I thought she was going to kill him. She's like, all of that was a joke? You couldn't have just told me it was a joke?
No. The best one is this guy's in the living room, all right, and he's talking, and he's, you know, and the guy says, you know, I mean, how was it? Was it, you know what I mean? He's explaining this place they went to, right? All right, this restaurant, and he says, well, you know, the name of a flower, and he goes like, you know what I mean? Was it, you know what I mean? Daisies? No, it wasn't. No, not Daisy. No. The one you give at Valentine's Day. He says, roses. He says, yeah, that's it. Hey, Rose, what's the name of that restaurant we went to last night?
We're here all night. Just pay your waiters and waitresses. Although nowadays they don't call them waiters and waitresses, do they? They just call them wait staff.
They call them servers.
Servers. Yeah. Well, I've heard wait staff. I've heard servers.
Hey, if you're offended by whatever they call you at your job, all right, you're the problem. I'm just saying. Let's put business back to business.
Oh my God, we have enough to do. We don't have to worry about. Oh man,
and it all started with we can't call the garbage man a garbage man anymore. We have to call him sanitation engineer.
Well, the thing
dude, he's the guy who picks up the garbage.
I understand that, but the thing is now that we have diversity in a lot of these businesses that were either predominantly men or predominantly women. I mean, stewardess, you can't call them a stewardess anymore. It was a steward and a stewardess. Now you just call them a flight attendant.
Yeah, but stewardess sounds so much sexier.
I know.
When I think flying and stewardess, I'm thinking of those girls on Southwest Airlines with the mini skirts.
Not no more. Not no more.
Sorry,
now
that's
like,
call me sexist all you want. They were sexy.
Don't you remember the old days when you would fly? You would dress up to be on the plane. You dressed up like in a suit. You dressed up like you were going to church to go on a plane. You had room to be on the plane. You had enough room to put your feet out in front of you. Everybody wasn't crammed in like sardines. The stewardesses were gorgeous. The staff was very nice. You went to the airport and they were all, "How are you today? Have a lovely flight. We hope to see you again soon in the state of blah, blah, blah." Now it's like, next.
Well, that goes in business everywhere. I heard this, you know what I mean? I've seen this. Somebody did this in an AI TikTok or short video. And it said, man goes to church. And while he's in church, he forgot to shut the ringer off on his phone, and his phone goes off. The pastor, all right, from the leader of the congregation, all right, really tears into him for it. His neighbor smacks him. "How dare you let that go off?" All right. The lady in front of him, the lady behind him, the ushers on the way out, all harassing him because his phone went off in church. Feeling like a total piece of shit. That day, he says, "Screw this. I'm just going to go to the bar and get a drink." So he goes to the bar. At the bar, all right, because he's just fumbling around with his drink and he's shaking it because, everybody just gave him a hard time all day long, and he accidentally spills it. Ready for the freaking people to scream at him. The bartender comes around, picks it up real quick, wipes it down, and says, "Oh, don't worry, accidents happen." The people in the back come running up. "Hey, I'll buy him a new drink, man. Accidents happen." The guy spends the rest of his life going to that bar every night, but never set foot in another church. Why?
Because he was treated better.
That's right. We don't understand it. You know what I mean? How we treat people as to whether they're going to come back to our business, they're going to come back to our life, they're going to come back to our church, whatever it is, they're going to come back.
Yep. And they're going to remember that incident and never forget.
That was one of the greatest examples of why we are in the places we are. We're so busy casting out people because they don't fit our mold. All right. Or because we want to acknowledge the new. That's like Glenn Morshower used to say this too all the time. He says, "You ever watch somebody at a party?" And he says, and they're at the party and they're talking to you and they're looking around for the next biggest person to talk to who's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Right? That's the society we've been brought up in. All right. We're looking for the next best thing, forgetting about where we are right now. We're ignoring everything. All right. And we're treating, that's what society is telling us, that this is the people we need to take care of now. Because of they have whatever. They're this color, they're this sex, they're this orientation sexually, they're this, all right, they're whatever it is. What happened to humans?
Yeah.
I take care of you because you're human. I don't care that you're male,
female. Because you deserve it.
Yeah. I don't care if you're male, female, in between the two. I really don't care. You're human.
Yep.
Right? But where did that start? Did that start back when we were like, well, you got to market yourself and you got to stand out as, individual?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to rearrange yourself, all right, and make a new class for yourself. No, you can make a new class for yourself by just being a dynamic person, and it'll go a long ways in business if you recognize people for being dynamic people.
Well, and there's another thing that comes into play with that too, is I know there's a lot of business owners out there that became business owners because they didn't really want to talk to a lot of people. They wanted to do their own thing. They just wanted to be their own person and not have to talk to a lot of people. But as we know in business, you have to deal with people. That's part of it. So what do you say to somebody who is like, I can't even get in front of a camera. I can't do this. No, this is too much.
I can't stand being on camera. Truthfully, you guys see me on camera every week. This isn't my only podcast. I set my entire freaking life to be on camera. I hate it. I don't want to be on camera. I want to put everybody else on camera. I'm serious. I want to put everybody else on camera. Why do I do this? Because my audience said they wanted it from me. You know, if I'm in the car business and the audience and my audience says they want to buy Chevrolets, you know what I mean? I'm going to get Chevrolets on my lot. You know, they say they want to buy blue shirts. You know, I'm not going to stock up on all the whites. I'm going to buy blue shirts.
Yeah.
Some people said they wanted to see me on a podcast interacting with a woman. So I joined with you on a podcast.
Ta-da!
Not because I want well, you know what I mean? Well, I just want to just go find some woman I can. No, that's what my audience said they wanted. So I interviewed a lot of women to find out who was the greatest fit. And I talked to several of them. They weren't a good fit. You were. Let's face it. You were a good fit for this, right?
Yes, I agree.
And how many women
banter back and forth?
I know, yeah. How many women that are in my life they were in my life long before I knew you? They're not on this podcast with me. Why? It wasn't a fit.
Well, and I think part of the thing too, when you're looking for somebody to be in your podcast or even interview, you want somebody that's going to be energetic. You want somebody that's going to be on the camera that you can talk back and forth with. You don't want to just hey Tim.
Yeah.
So tell me how.
Yeah, Katrina, I'll tell you, she's just always boring.
Your week, and did you?
She just sits there and like a bump on a log.
That one guy, and
she doesn't even listen to a word I say. We could do a whole We could do a whole segment on that, right?
Yep.
Right.
And that's the hardest part that a lot of entrepreneurs have, though. I mean. And it takes practice, people. It takes practice. Mm-hmm. Because just like Tim, I didn't want to be in a camera either. But people said the only way to get out there is to be on a camera, be on a podcast, whatever. I didn't want to do it either. But the thing is that a lot of people don't realize that we've talked about on this show several times, whether you're on camera, just doing a live Facebook, or whether you're on podcast, you just be yourself. That's the whole point, is just be yourself.
Sandra D got that into me a long time ago, and I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
She really hit me with that, And I literally half the time when I'm doing on these shows, I don't stare at the camera. I know the camera's up here, but half the time I'm staring at you.
Yeah,
right?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at you and the camera's up here.
Right. I'm having a conversation with you. And I noticed, when I was interviewed by Dean Kane, I didn't look at the camera. Half the time I was looking at Dean. Yeah. Talking to Dean. Because I was having a conversation with Dean. And that's the way I naturally am.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that I do in my business that I don't like, but my people, my audience, my community, the people who want to see me, that's what they want. So that's what I do. All right. It's, for instance, today, all right, I'm here at home in Texas because I'm doing stuff that I did the stuff to do here in Texas, right? But in the old days, today, Craig Duswalt, who introduced the two of us, I'm still in his mastermind, and his mastermind's meeting and I think they're in around Burbank Airport, right? And I'm like, I don't want to fly to California, right? I just don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I don't want to do in my business. So now, I made a rule in my business. I'll fly to California if I'm being paid to fly to California. I don't want to go there. New York is the same way. You want me to go to New York? You're going to pay me, or I'm not going. I'm not going to New York for vacation. All right. I'm not going to California for vacation. I just don't like them.
Yeah. Well, and I think that ties into, business has changed a lot since we talked about COVID and so forth. Yeah. It's changed a lot. Yeah. And I think even though, and there used to be huge events, and I don't really see the huge events that they used to take place, because I think
they're happening. As a matter of fact, I have someone I'm following that's at a huge one this week as well.
I haven't seen any yet. Yeah. I haven't seen any yet, but they're far and few between, because most of the people that I've seen, number one, a lot of the people that went on COVID that had the big audiences decided they really like doing the virtual thing, or they're doing a combination of both, where they're doing a small get together that's live and they only sell a smaller amount. So then that way they sell out quicker. And then they also do virtual. So, it just depends, but I know that business changed in general. And I think there's a lot of people out there that got used to staying at home, and realized I'm saving a shitload of money. I'm not going on planes. I'm not paying for meals. I'm not paying for hotel. If they're going to do a virtual one, I'm in.
Yeah, but how did that affect the airline industry?
Oh, well, it killed the airline industry.
Did it?
Just about. Well, not yet. It did up front, but now they're doing just as strong as ever.
There's a business lesson in why I ask that. The airline industry is not going away. All right. Number one. Number two, they find a way to, and no matter what happens, they adapt.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, they adapt. All right.
So did the hospitality industry.
Oh, yeah. That's business. You figure out what's happening and you adapt to whatever that's happening.
Yep.
All right. It's like, it comes down to, what do my audience want? They want to see me on camera. I don't want to be on camera, but I do it because my audience wants that. Some of my audience wants to still see me speak on stage. I don't want to get on stage. So I'll speak on stage, but if you want to see me on stage, you got to come to Dallas. I don't travel any outside of Dallas. Sorry. All right. Unless you're paying me, I'm not doing it. Right.
Yep.
But that became part of my business. Okay, great. My audience wants this. When I get to myself to a certain level, then that's what you do. You get yourself to a certain level. And then you say to your audience, okay, if you would like me to continue this, these are the rules of where we do it. Right.
Yep.
But for me, you know what I mean? I'd love to tell my audience, well, no, I'm not getting on camera. However, when I didn't get on camera, I didn't make as many sales.
Yep.
So I had to sacrifice and get on camera if I was going to get more clients.
Well, people like that interaction. They like that face to face. Whether you're on camera or not, it makes them get closer to you as a business and get to know you as the business, because as we know with most businesses, the person who's selling is you, as well as your services, your products, whatever the case may be, but you're behind that business. Mm-hmm. Which I think is another story or another interesting fact that a lot of people say, I hate sales. I just hate selling. I
do. I suck at sales.
But that's what you're doing every day when you're talking to a client. And it's just like talking to a friend. You're still selling, but it's not.
I still suck at it. No. But there's a business lesson. When you suck at something, what do?
You practice to make perfect.
You adapt. No, you adapt, right? I suck at sales. So that's why I became very good at marketing. Marketing gets them to the point to be able to make the sale. Sales is the conversion into actually getting the dollars.
Yeah.
I do a shit ton of work to getting them to the point where they want to go in and click to make the sale. So that by the time I sit down with them, it is very easy for me to make the sale. Because if I had to sit down with a stranger to explain websites and explain the idea, all right, 99% of them, I'm not going to make the sale. Yep, because it doesn't work. But if I do a ton of marketing to them, explaining why websites, why we do websites, how we do websites, how and why we're going to be better for them than Katrina's company. How and seriously, I had to throw that in. No, what's the difference between me and Katrina's company?
He's cheap. That's what's the difference. He's cheap. You're paying over there for crackers. You're paying for caviar here. I'm just saying.
Yep, I'm getting simple.
That's the difference.
So, but it's. I should make my next course simple, easy money. I actually wrote a new. And I'm working on getting the final done to have it printed and ready to go on for an opt-in white paper. Called where is it? The Simple Easy Guide to Making Money Online or something like that. Let's see if I can find it.
And nobody owns that?
Huh?
Nobody owns that?
No, it's a report I'm doing.
I'm just saying you don't get the domain. You should check in.
I don't care about the domain on that because it's just an opt-in. Where is it? I can't even find it now. Let's try my recent files.
You made so much money, you went into no, never mind.
I don't even know where I put it.
Oh,
I lost it already, huh?
That's another thing. Where do you put your files? How do you manage your files? How do you manage?
I don't.
I mean, That's something that a lot of people have a hard time with. I know I've got it here somewhere. I just can't remember where I put it.
All right, there it is. I found it.
Oh, wow. He found it.
7, the simple, easy money-making plan to get started online. Tim's 7 rules for making money online.
Oh, there's rules.
There are rules.
I'm out. I don't follow rules. You know, I noticed that you always, for the most part, wear blue and you match your background.
What did I wear last week? I have 10 different shirts.
I think last time you had blue. We'll have to look, but I think you have blue
Hold on. All right. You see, because we have a YouTube channel and we can just go look.
Yeah, I think you had blue on.
I might have. I always do that where I end up 2 days in a row wearing the same
Wearing
shirt.
the same thing. Yeah.
So
I think you had blue. Is blue your favorite color?
Yeah.
See,
So,
that's blue,
going
by
back.
the way, people, blue, by the way, is a great color for marketing. And the reason for that is because blue is calming and it's considered a trust color.
Nope. I did not have blue on last week.
Oh, I thought you did.
Nope.
Oh, well.
I could. Wait a minute.
Was it the blue background?
You had blue on last week.
Oh, there we go. That's what
All
it
right.
was.
Hold on, because I can do this in a way that I can actually show people. All right. What? Again, I have ways of sharing screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, so key. All the tricks of the trade. He's got it right under.
And that was last week's episode.
Ah, look at that. Oh, okay. It was a blue background. That's what it was.
So I could even go back more weeks than that if you wanted to.
That's a great picture. We should do frozen pieces of us as we're doing this show.
I could look up. I see. That's the thing is like we have a YouTube channel and everything that I can go back and look at my what they are. Oh wow! So we're broadcasting live on YouTube right now. So anyway,
yes, sir.
2 weeks ago. All right. Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah. 3 weeks. Yeah. 3 weeks ago, I had white shirt on as well. 4 weeks ago, I had a white shirt on. 5 weeks ago, I had a white shirt on. 6 weeks ago, I had a black one on. 7 weeks ago, white.
So check back
8
every
weeks
so
ago.
often
8
to
weeks
find
ago,
out
white.
what color we are wearing and see if we wear the same thing and how often.
9 weeks ago, gray.
How often?
10 weeks
do
ago,
we wear the
black.
same thing?
I have not had. All right, I've not had in over 10, 11 episodes. I've not had a blue shirt on.
Oh, well, it must have been the blue background. I don't know why.
Must be.
I think that's what it was, is the blue background.
No.
It threw me off. The white pulled it all in. It was like a white and black shirt.
No.
Just saying.
Me either, Facebook user.
Just saying. I saw the blue
I
background.
just love when I get to mess with Facebook users.
Okay,
like
so
that.
there's another question I have for you.
Yeah.
And this is something they always say is Podcast 101. What do you put in your background so that people are paying attention to you and not what's in your background?
To me, I think you set, no. I think you set your background up on what you want. The only thing that I don't like to do in the background, actually, my books are over there. I usually don't like to have books in it, but that's a wide screen shot, right? I do this, all right, and I have 2 separate guitars because of the fact I like to, and I know which side the window's on. I know which way to point. So that if I'm on with somebody, I know which side to point to.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But like they said, I notice a lot of times people will be, and I notice this even on TV when they're doing the newscasts and you see people that are in virtual.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'll have books in the background because they're either in their office and they've got bookshelves with all these books behind them.
Yeah.
And and they always say that that's not something you want to do because people are paying attention to the titles of the books behind you.
See, I can do this though with mine.
Yeah. Oh
Totally
wow.
take the whole thing out.
That's a close up. But your books, I think,
This is because of the camera system I have with this camera. I can go 3 different phases with that camera.
but your books are far enough away you can't really
You
see.
can't read my books. I don't want you to.
It's not something that you can really see. But I've noticed that when people do have their backgrounds, they have books that you can see. Or like I know with Katrina Sawa, she puts her books where you can see them.
Yeah, yeah.
That she's written, which is a way to advertise. I've written this book, and people ask, "Is that your book?" Oh, this one here? Yeah, I wrote that book. You can get it on Amazon. So it's another way of showing people that you're an author and you've got this many books that you've written over the years. Because I noticed Katrina Sawa does that a lot. But also, they say too that a lot of times people will have the computer and they have the camera up here. So people are kind of looking down on you. When you're looking down, they're seeing the top of your head. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of getting your camera in the right position. I think the laptop usually is the best way because it's right at the level you need a lot of times. Instead of having that camera, if you have a camera right here, it's going to be at a different angle.
Yeah.
Just tips. Just saying. And of course, your lighting. Although
I never thought about lighting until I think I was down at Jeff Crilly's studio and I looked at all the backlighting, and I'm like, I just need to add backlighting. Yeah. And I probably have about $500 worth of colored lights that I have put in different places. All right, but and I have extras.
And you have extras? Is that what you said?
I have extra lights. Yeah, I can add lights if I want. I could add a set of lights along the wall here. So if I had the curtain closed, I could close the curtain and I could run a set of lights down here. All right. These lights, which I don't even have on right now, changes the whole thing when I add. I didn't even have those on today. Those are my front lights.
Yeah. Right? And I'm facing a window, plus I have a light in front of me.
Okay.
So just a matter of what works best. But I do see, though, that Zoom is starting to copy a lot of things that StreamYard is doing so that they can pull a lot of the StreamYard audiences back over to Zoom. Because I noticed a lot of people are still utilizing StreamYard when it comes to these type of...
When it comes to a podcast and you're broadcasting a podcast or interviewing someone, StreamYard is the best thing.
Yeah.
When you're hosting a meeting, that's what Zoom is good for.
Yeah.
All right. You can do the Zoom like webinar format. All right. And it's the same as this webinar format. All right. It's just, that's what I use both of them. I hardly ever do a Zoom webinar anymore. Most of the time I do my StreamYard webinars because I know the quality I'm going to get from the camera. All right. That's why I use it.
However, there's something to think about that I've checked into. Your computer needs to have a lot more RAM and a lot more RAM space and so forth in regards to the I'm trying to think of the word and I can't get it out of my head. Gigahertz. Because the thing is it takes higher gigahertz to run StreamYard than it does Zoom.
Well, StreamYard is all broadcasting online. So if you disappeared off and I disappeared off, the stream keeps going.
Yeah.
Zoom is relying on our internet connection to keep going.
Yeah. And if something happens, it goes away.
Yeah.
True. And that's why it's pulling more. Well, plus, and I know that you can do live streaming through StreamYard and you can also do live streaming through Zoom as well now.
Yeah, but Zoom, you could broadcast to one location. We broadcast to 9.
No, they're starting to change that now. They're starting to change a lot of that because they want to be able to compete with StreamYard. So, but those two are the main ones that are out there when you're doing podcasting is Zoom.
No, there's a ton of other ones. Just nobody knows who they are.
But it seems like these are the most popular.
They are. They're the 2 best solutions.
Yeah.
But Restream is out there. A lot of people I know using Restream. There's a Google platform that you can do. A lot of people still using that Google platform, right? I I'm not sure if Be Live is still out there. Be Live used to be another one.
I don't know if it's still.
I don't know either. All right. There used to be expert TV.
Yeah.
ExpertiseTV.tv was out there for the longest time. It was still going. There
Do
were
you remember Google Hangouts?
yeah, Google Hangouts was the first people to bring it to mainstream.
Yeah.
So
And it
there
went.
was some form of live streaming along, and Google Hangouts brought it mainstream. Blab made it even more mainstream. And after Blab went away, a lot of companies come out with developments like this, and StreamYard just come out with the best one. There was
Yeah.
another one that I was going to invest in up in Colorado was the guy, and I can't remember the name of it. That, I mean, I talked to the CEO of it, the guy who founded it, and a lot of people from our Blab days went there. And I didn't even last long. I'm actually, I was going to dump money into it to help them keep going.
Are they still around?
I don't even know.
Yeah. And
So.
that's like with any platform. There's a lot of platforms out there that do essentially the same things in some respect. It's just a matter of what's the platform that's going to work best for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you use StreamYard. I know a lot.
I swear by StreamYard.
Yeah. But like I said, you have to have enough. You have to have enough gigahertz and RAM and so forth on your computer to really make StreamYard work the best for you.
This one here, okay. So I agree. This person here, all right, says nothing has been better than Blab. I disagree. Blab does not have the broadcasting capability. Blab never had the broadcasting capabilities to other destinations that all of these have now.
Yeah.
Blab tried it and they never succeeded at it. Right? You never could do a background with it. There's a lot of things Blab, while they were an innovator, there's a lot of things you couldn't do on Blab. You couldn't change your you had to do with the size photo they had, and that's it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things out there. You couldn't, we have all this stuff now where we can run these fancy banners like this. Put a banner up.
You can do highlights where you can put
comments up. Yeah, you couldn't do that stuff before.
You can do all kinds of things now. You can do banners across. And that's another thing too. When you're utilizing, I don't think they do that in Zoom yet. I think it's in beta format right now. But I know with StreamYard, a lot of times we can have our names going across with website and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't take advantage of that. They just put their name on there and they don't put.
Well, there's this other thing here that I always have shut off. Is this?
Yeah.
I always have it shut off because I don't like it. And you can show headlines. All right. There's another things you can do with headlines. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Well, and that's just a way if somebody's coming in for the first time, they can see who your guest is and their information. Plus, the headlines is a really good way that if you have a guest on and they're advertising a webinar they've got coming up or a class of some sort, they can put that in the headline.
So here's what I do is I create a banner. I create a banner and go, today's guest, and I have it spelled out. On our Monday night podcast, I usually bring up what the podcast is about, like that, right? And that's where it is here, And our listeners said, all right, as far as they mean for creating community. Blab was great at creating community. The problem is it put a bunch of people in there who never learned how to create their own community. And when you have a community like that, it makes everybody dependent on the community, and no one ever goes off and builds their own communities. So then when the platform fails, the community is gone.
Yeah.
This here, all right, the advantage here is we've got to create our own communities. If you don't create your own community, you're not going to stay live. You're not going to be doing a podcast for long. And that's why so many people were like in Blab, and I've seen it all over Blab, and I can name hundreds. I mean, I had thousands of people who followed me and connected me over there. Hundreds and thousands of people who were all about, this is great. I don't have to, and they get on because the community would see them and they'd pop on the show. Take that away. They have nobody to market their show. They have no way to get people to come to see their show because they had a show that wasn't interesting. They were just, okay, well, if I'm going to go on Blab tonight, I got to pick somebody to watch. Who am I going to watch?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this one's left. I guess I'm going to watch that one because I know Carl on there, so I guess I'll watch Carl. But the second something else came on, you were off Carl's show and gone.
Yeah.
And that's where it was. A community is great, but a community can also be your downfall if you learn to rely on that community. You know, every podcast I build, I don't rely on the community at all. I just consistently do content to build my own community. You and I have our own community compared to me and Gladys having our own community, right? And me and Gladys are not relying on you and I's community.
No.
And you and I aren't relying on Gladys's community.
Because it's a different community, it's a different audience, and they're looking at different things.
Yep.
Because it's a different podcast.
Yeah. You and I are relying on our individual
communities.
Right?
True.
And that's it. You and I learned how to build communities. There are so many people out there who don't know how to build communities. And I think we talked about this last week. I said, I've seen in the past month how many people, and I had another one on the beginning of the week. All right. They just have been down the road of following every guru in the place who said, do this, and now they're out of money. And they never started with the most simplistic of things of, let me just do something and see where it goes. Right. Because they were afraid to fail. I was never afraid to fail at doing a podcast. That's why I'm not afraid to get on camera. Right. Do I like it? No, I don't. Do I do it? Yes, I do.
Well, and here's the thing too. We talked about this last week as well. The fails are the ones that do the best. The fails are the ones that get the most audience. The fails are the ones that get the most comments because now they can connect with you because they now realize, okay, she's not perfect.
Yeah.
She's had problems too. So, okay, I feel better. I'm not, it's okay. It's okay if I screw up because she screwed up too. So I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can connect with her. I mean, that's like, and that's what drives me nuts in regards to the Kardashians. They're all plastic and so on and so forth. And there's still people that will follow them to the ends of the earth, but they're plastic and it's all fake. But the thing is that's a different audience as opposed to somebody who wants some real people that are having real issues just like them. And I think that's where they really get their community going. I know one time when we were in California and I posted a video, it was 114 degrees that day and our air conditioning was not working. Mm-hmm. I was literally melting. I was so freaking hot. I had no makeup on. My hair was all plastered to my head because I'd been sweating all day. I had this towel around my neck because I was trying to keep cool. And I went onto the video and I said, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to handle this anymore. I can't work. I can't think, blah, 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 blah. I got 286 comments and likes on just that one video.
Wow.
One video that I thought, you know what? I don't care what I look like. No makeup. I looked horrible. I'm just going to put it out there because I have nothing better to do right now. And I'm just frustrated. And those are the videos that I have the biggest impressions on when you're no makeup. You're just telling people how you're feeling. Sarah Bucksbaum, who's another person that we know and love. She does that all the time on her feed. And she's got a huge community. She's always sharing her trials and tribulations, and she's always sharing her wins and the rewards. She shares everything, and that's what her audience depends on because people want you to be human.
All right. Right here. You want to see one of my biggest screw-ups that everybody came to? Right there's one.
The biggest screw-up? What was this screw-up?
I interviewed Bob Berg, and I was totally off on the whole interview.
In what way?
I was off on trying to get the right questions in the right position. I was learning how to interview, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Bob Berg thought I was great. Bob Berg, and he literally, he's like, to me, he did a great job. And I'm like, no, dude, he came back.
I bombed. How can I have done a great job? I bombed.
Yeah, that, I think, was the first time he was ever on my show. He was on my shows over the years a total of 6 times. I've interviewed Bob Berg a total of 6 times. So, and I love Bob Berg. I think he's one of the greatest out there. All right. And right there was, in 2013, that's 10 years ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's how long you've been doing this.
Yeah.
But you've come a long way.
Yeah,
come
that
a
was
long
back
way.
in an audio only show. That wasn't even a video show. But anyway.
Yeah, we've all come a long way. But going back to community, I mean, that like you said, you have to build your community. But how do you build that community? People are out there going, okay, so you have a community. How did you do it? How did you build it? I don't even know where to begin on that. So what do I do? Where do I start? Tim?
Start with doing a broadcast like this.
Or you can just start with doing a simple video on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just start with a simple. That's what I did. I started live and I just started to do a video once a week. And then we also had a friend, Elisa. She did a video. She gave herself 30 days. She did a video every single day for 30 days. And it was just, and she's a stylist, and she put on different outfits. She matched things with jewelry, whatever. 30 days. And she grew her audience by 80%.
Wow.
And now she's actually having, she's actually got people for products coming to her to say, can you talk about this product because your audience is so big? And that's how you build a community. You just start. You just start anywhere. And that's part of it.
And you know what I mean? I think I told it to 3 people this month. Go do a daily video for 30 days. Don't watch your numbers for 30 days. Just do a daily video for 30 days.
Yeah. Don't worry about the numbers.
Don't
worry about if you flub up. Just do a video. Yeah. Even if you're just talking about, today was a shitty day, I had this happen and that. Have you had this happen before? And da, da, da. Just always act like you're talking to your best friend. That camera is the best friend. And you're talking to your best friend and telling him what your day's about, what you've won, or you're giving them tips. That's a big thing too. And it drives me nuts when people do this script thing. You can tell they're doing the script. So today we're going to talk about podcasting and getting your community in place. It's like,
I figured out who that person was that was leaving comments, who Facebook user is.
Who is that?
Oh, it's some lady named Wendy that I used to know.
Used to know?
Used to know, yeah. Let's see if she comes back up and changes her name and fixes it.
I'm just saying, though, just like we've said before, if you're going to start your community, the ways you can do that is go on Facebook and do live videos once a day or once a week, whichever. You can do a podcast like this, which is very easy to do through StreamYard. It's pretty easy to figure out, or you can do it on Zoom, whatever you feel comfortable with, but just know they have its nuances. You figure it out. You can start, I think video is the best way to start to build your community, is just going out there and doing videos. Yeah. Tips, tell them how things are going, frustration, having a hard day, tell them about it, because everybody has a hard day. Everybody has frustrations. And now when they know you've had them, that's where
I got a challenge for her. All right. I want you to go get 30 of these things.
$30.
30 of them, $1 bills. And you just, every day you get in, you take you get up in the morning, you take your stack of 30 $1 bills. You get up in the morning. If you do a broadcast, you take the $1 bill and you put it in a jar. If you don't do a broadcast that day, I want you to take the $1 bill, I want you to crumble it up, and I want you to throw it in the trash can.
Ah! That's money wasted.
Because that's what you're doing.
That's money wasted. Good session. Money wasted. It's easy to do, folks. Easy to do.
Most people won't do it, but right there, all right, if you did that test, knowing that, all right, if you didn't do a broadcast, you don't get to keep the $1 that day. And at the end of the month, add up how many dollars were in the jar and how many dollars went in the trash can. I guarantee you, after the 3rd day, you would be doing broadcasts because after the 3rd time of going, oh crap, I got to throw the $1.
Okay. Both of us are going to do this.
Okay.
Both of us are going to do this starting in. Let's start at the beginning of July so we can do it for the whole month. July 1st. And you guys are going to hear this and see this. July 1st. You're going to do a video every day on your channel, and you just share it across whatever. And I'm going to do a video starting July 1st, and we're going to do it for the whole month of July 1st. And let's look at our numbers at the beginning, so that this will be proof to the audience. We'll look at our numbers at the beginning, and then we'll look at our numbers at the end of those 30 days and see whether they went up or down. What do you think? Are you ready to take this challenge on?
I think the dog had his view on that one.
I know. We have some people here working on the house, so I apologize.
You're in that house how long, and people are still working on it?
It's a stairway that's going up to our deck that's been going on now for like 7 months. Can you believe we've been here 7 months?
Wait a minute. I know. I've been in this house for 11.
For how long?
Almost 11 months.
No, you moved before I did?
August. I moved in August. Yeah.
So not too long before. Okay. Yeah, we moved in.
I moved out of my condo at the end of July.
We moved in November.
So
it's crazy.
It's almost like you have your brother doing the work, huh?
You think? Oh my God. Well, here's the thing. I love New Mexico. I do. There's a few caveats of New Mexico that I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
One, nothing's done fast here.
That's right.
Nothing is done fast at all in New Mexico. If they say mañana, they mean maybe next month. Number two, this town shuts down at sometime 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, this town shuts down. You're lucky if anything's open past 9 o'clock. There's a bar up the street. It's the only thing that stays open Friday and Saturday only until 11. Only thing. Everything else closed at 9 o'clock. Everything closes. Number three, if you want Mexican food, we got lots of Mexican food. But we don't have a lot of variety of other things. There's some food, but it's not a big variety. If you want a big variety, you go into El Paso, which is 45 minutes away. And number four, we don't even have a major airport. Our major airport we have to go to is El Paso, in the next town, the next city over, or the next state over. So those four things, and the other thing too, I forgot 5. The other thing, the speed limit in El Paso or in Las Cruces on the freeway is like 75. In town, 25 to 35. And that sometimes is a really hard pill to swallow when you've come from California and everything is zoom, 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 zoom. Get it done, get it done, get it done. It's got to get done now. You have to really dig deep and say, okay, I need to just slow my roll and just slow down, because that's what Las Cruces is all about.
Yeah, see, no, we have 2 and 3 lane streets here, all right, where the speed limit, like the main street out from us is 50 miles an hour. And you come around the one curve where it's 45, and you get onto the next curve and it's 50. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, goes for the left lane. And zoom, right? If you're in the front of the line and you can hit that left lane and go, you love it, you go.
Yep.
But today I'm coming back from my networking meeting, and this lady I was following in the right lane for the last mile to make this right? Because you got to get in a line of people who are getting in line to make the right. Otherwise, you're never going to get into it. Of course, it slows down to 22 miles an hour. All right, because people don't know how to turn right. They're race car drivers, I guess. They turn left. I don't know. But you turn right. And today I'm behind this lady. She turns right. All right. And there's like 3 cars. So the center lane is the cars that's moving fast. So the slowest lady moves to the left lane and does 41 miles an hour in a 50 mile an hour street.
Wait a minute. Isn't left lane pass?
Yes.
The fast lane?
Yes.
Right lane is slow?
Yes. All right. And I just, as soon as I got an opening, I literally went right around her, right? And as soon as I did that, she's like, ooh, right? When I came up, again, the 2.5 miles up to my turn, 2.5 miles, if you're the slowest person and you're not turning left, you really should get out of that lane. 2.5 miles. When I turned left, they were still in that lane at 40 miles an hour. Because I could see them way back there.
You have to admit, because I've driven in Texas before, everybody drives in Texas very fast.
Mm-hmm.
very fast. And they'll sit right on your ass and they'll go around you if you're going too slow. I mean, they drive fast and lots of traffic. So that is one thing in Las Cruces. There's not a lot of traffic. And when the traffic is in the morning in one area where people are going back and forth, they're going to work, and then when they're coming home. That's it. The rest of the time, not that much traffic at all. Yeah. And even then, it's not that much traffic, considering in LA, I mean, in Thousand Oaks, we could be like a 20-minute ride if there was no traffic would take 45 minutes because there was so much traffic. 45 minutes. Out here, you can get anywhere pretty quick because not a lot of traffic. But the speed limit is 25 to 35. So it's a very slow pace.
No, in Texas, when we get in our cars, we have a purpose. We're going somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
And you'll take people out.
I did not get in my car to lollygag around.
Nobody in Texas lollygags.
That's right.
They take off.
We got places to go. We got people to see. We got things to do. All right. And we're going to do them.
They hit that gas and they're.
Especially when you live out in the country and it's an hour to downtown.
Wow, an hour. Well, that's traffic though too, right?
No, I could be downtown with no traffic. It takes 48 minutes.
Okay.
With traffic, it'd be up to an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dallas has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Changed a lot. Because I remember my dad used to live out there for, God, I don't know how many years. I have no idea. He lived all over the place. Dallas, Houston, Amarillo, and Fort Worth.
So Amarillo is the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dallas was amazing because the thing is when we were in downtown Dallas, he said, okay, look at your watch. In about 10 minutes, this place is going to be packed, but it'll be like a ghost town. 10 minutes. Watch your watch. Mm-hmm. And he said it. Literally.
Downtown Dallas is a ghost town at night. Yeah.
Yeah. I was blown away.
But downtown Fort Worth is one happening place at night.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's so happening. Everybody goes to the restaurants down there. All right. They walk around, and downtown Fort Worth, but downtown Dallas, it's dead. And what it is, a weekend, same thing. Now, Fort Worth did this for years. I mean, I've been here 20 some odd years. Fort Worth made this whole thing on nights and weekends where parking was free. So people come to enjoy town.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah.
I mean, and in our area, you don't pay for parking in downtown Las Cruces. There's no parking.
Well, yeah. I pay. Wait a minute. When I go to Fort Worth, I pay for parking though. Because if I go for 2 days, and because if I'm going to go have some dinner, I'm going to crawl back to my hotel. I do not want to get my car.
Not have to drive.
Yeah, I don't want to drive.
But that's a long drive for you.
It's an hour to get there.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
All right. And I will literally stay at the hotel. So I pull up to the valet stand and hand him my keys. I'm not going anywhere.
See you in the morning.
And we were there just a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? We took a couple of days off and went to downtown Fort Worth. Literally on Saturday, we got up. Well, we didn't even drive. We didn't even take our car out of the garage. I went downstairs and got one of the executive drivers to drive me to places and drive me back. I'm like, I'll pay him the $30-$40 per trip, and I don't have to worry about.
Although I did read some USA stats, and they stated that the biggest exodus, of course, was from California to Texas. But because Texas is such a big state, it only made a small dent on Texas in general. However, they said the biggest migration over, because it starts where there's not a lot of people, was to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of people here. It's a small, I mean, even though it's a great state, there are only 14 people per square mile. 14 people. Most of it is land. Very few people. And now they're starting to come over, and a lot of them are coming from Texas. So I'd be willing to bet it's probably the Californians going into Texas. Maybe they're tired of it and then going to, I don't know. But
The other place, like, I remember I used to go to Phoenix. I used to think Phoenix was cool, but like, now it's like you look at those towns that people went to. That's the thing. Is a lot of people from California went to cities.
Yeah.
They didn't go out. What they didn't realize is they went out to the country in California. There were some beautiful areas. They didn't have to deal with the city problems. Because you go over the mountains in California, there's some beautiful land out there.
Oh yeah, it's still expensive though.
It's still expensive, but like, I remember going up to where was it? I was up Central Coast area, and going up and over the mountain, and I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. And California, and just most people didn't do it. They all live on the coast. So.
Yeah, a lot of people like the coast, but there's a lot of beautiful places in
But
California.
New York is the same way. Gwen just got back from New York, and she was upstate New York, where she had to go up and take like the ferry across the lake to Burlington, Vermont. Up there, again, a whole different world than we think New York.
Yeah.
Right?
When you go
Once you get out
outside.
of the city of New York. New York is a beautiful state, right? But New York, Pennsylvania, same thing. Beautiful state, but everybody thinks Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Well, that's like we went to go visit Boston, and I have to say I was pretty impressed with Boston, with the history of Boston and so forth. And they have some gorgeous places outside. The White Mountains, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, New Hampshire, same thing. New Hampshire's got some pretty places going up and down it. I was never impressed with Connecticut. All right. The Carolinas, beautiful.
Yep.
Love the Carolinas. Tennessee, beautiful.
But you got to deal with the weather. You got to deal with the bugs because it's beautiful for a reason.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And every place has their ups and downs depending on where you live. But I just thought it was interesting with the stats because I just assumed that most people were still moving over to Texas. But now things are changing and moving in different directions. And of course, everything is starting to go up in the various different states. They even said that in the city of Las Cruces, they raised the rent higher than any other state across the United States. It got the biggest bump. Yeah. In fact, the rent that we were paying for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that was about 1,100 square feet was $975. That same apartment now is $2,000.
Yeah, that's what we were to. We were $2,200 to $2,500 for that same size.
Yeah. So
you can find them for $900. I wouldn't live in them.
Just saying, and it was a nice apartment. They were all very nice apartments, but that was the price.
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
I think
big difference, especially even with business.
This person's been emailing me too much, so I think I'm going to check myself off their list. Reply to their email, all right, their name for me at gmail.com. So I think I'm just going to unsubscribe from their list. Well, the reason I'm doing that is that person, they came to me to be on my radio, my podcast.
Okay, and but one last thing before, because I know we're almost up at the top of the hour, but one last thing before we go in regards to talking about emails.
Yeah.
And when you're marketing to people and you're marketing to your audience, how often do you feel is the best marketing in regards to how many emails you're going to send across? You're going to send across once a month, once a week, once a day. What do you think is that magic number? And there is a trick question here.
Wait, you expect the jokester of the show to actually give you the serious response?
Yes, I want a serious response, and this is a trick question.
45.
Nope.
22.
Nope.
16.
Nope. The key to any marketing is based on your audience. So
I thought you said there was a number.
If your audience likes it once a week, great, do it once a week. But I used to tell people, I used to hear this all the time. No, you got to do it once a day.
All right, Eric. See, Carrie says, "Yep."
Based on your audience, what your audience is willing to partake from you and put up with in regards to the amount of emails.
No. I'm willing to get emails from a lot of people and keep a lot of people on my list. Stay on their list. This person, though, specifically came to me for something they wanted. All right. And then was on my show and then never did any other reciprocation for, hey, thanks for letting me be on your show. All right. Hey, can we swap stages?
But now they're sending you.
But they still send me all their emails, all right, and they don't respond. And they took themselves off my list. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done with this person now.
Yeah.
They're not on my list. They're not, you know what I mean? It's not like we're trying to do mutual stuff together. No, all right. You tried to use me in the beginning when you tried to get started, and you know what I mean? You're done using me and you've moved on to someone else. And I don't know whether they're using other people or not, but like I felt used.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is when you're putting content across, like we've talked about, it's not just a sale.
Yeah.
It's something that you can give to them. And that's all part of marketing, is what can you give them that they're going to be willing to keep coming back.
Well, that's it. All right. Well,
not just buy. Big difference.
No, I just haven't read any of their emails in 8-9 months.
Yeah. Time to clean.
Yeah. Time to get rid of them. So
time to clean. Well, we're at the top of the hour. We're at like past the top of the hour.
Yeah. And
this is why I'm here, folks. Keep it real. Just saying.
Oh, I thought this was just a hangout today. Yeah.
We're just
chilling. No, I do. I have other work I've got to get done today.
Just
all right. Because I came from John Limbacher's call, which I do every Thursday, because that's where I sharpen my axe as far as getting my traffic online. Setting this, when I come back from my networking thing, I set this up while I'm hopping on John's call. All right. And then I'm able to do the call with you after I'm done with John's call. All right. And when I get done with John, I went and got a drink, went and used the potty, come back in, sit down. And like, when I'm done with you today, it's basically taking the tasks off this list over here.
Oh yeah. I have a list too. Working on, I have quite a few things I have to work on as well. So,
and then I'm trying to get, and now I'm setting up another phase. Yesterday was my 3-month mark for my company, 90 days.
Nice. Congratulations.
So 90 days, and I am nowhere near where I wanted to be, but it's okay.
You're still moving forward.
I still built a business in 90 days.
Yep.
My daughter is moving to Texas to come help build this business.
Nice.
And that told me there's certain things I need to do. So, all right.
All learning process, especially when you're in business.
And more and more, I'm finding though that a lot of the people I'm setting websites up for, that they're burnt out on the trainings they've gotten, and they're coming to me saying, "Hey, can you help me out with this?"
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I had another one this morning. Same thing. All right. You know what I mean? They literally. I'm not going to say who, but it's someone you and I both know. And it's not Craig, by the way. Craig, it's not you. I have to say that. Craig will think it's him. This person, right, they were told they need to meet with this person, and they met with this person, and the person immediately sold them into a program. And I looked at the program because I know the person, I know the program, and I know what this person's trying to do. And I'm like, they're over here trying to do something. And they sold them a program way over here. They sold them a program for the sake of selling them a program.
Yeah.
And that, like, I'm like, and I know this person. And I know this person personally. I want to go slap him upside the head and go, dude, have you really stopped and questioned what this person's trying to do with their business? You haven't. So a year from now, they're going to be broke and they're going to hate you because all you did was sell them into a program, not help them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'd like to. I told someone else last week, I want you to go try something. I'm going to have you try this. And after you're done trying it, I says, then I'm going to give you the sales pitch to join my mastermind. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to give you the sales pitch. But I'm going to give you something to go try. If you go try it, all right, then I will find out if it works for you. But most of the time, these people who are coming to me, they've been told, instead of giving things to try, they've been given places to go buy. And they don't need to buy anymore. They need to go try.
Yeah. Well, they need to do. That's the thing. They need to act on them. And not everybody can do that. So that's why we're here, is to help them do a lot of that. And I know you've spoken
to... That's why Carrie's here, right here. That's why Carrie's here. She loves us.
So it's, I mean, and we're simply giving you advice based on experience. We're not giving you advice based on,
we're not trying to build group. No, truthfully, you and I are not trying to build guru status.
Nope.
We started this thing as a rudimentary thing, and literally, my website company, all right, is designed over the fact
because of all this.
It came because of all the crap that you and I used to sit in masterminds and say, why the hell don't they do this?
Yes. Yep.
We need to make a simple way for them to do it.
Yep.
And I agree. You, me, and Janet, how many times have we sat in the back of a mastermind and really
shaking our heads and going, "Oh God,
do this! Like this is it. Let's go do this."
Yeah, God no. Or here in the front, sometimes you're getting to do this, and we'd be shaking our heads, going,
"No,
no, I love you, Craig. I swear."
No. That's not. It wasn't just Craig's. It was we were at somebody else's too that it happened.
Oh,
you
that's
remember
true.
That one? Yeah,
that's true. Very true.
It wasn't just Craig, but it was two different places that you and I sat. And it was the same problem. People won't take action, right? But somebody in the room, all right, their name starts with a K. We won't go into how it's spelled out or anything like that. I've got a program for that.
Yeah.
And they would sell them into something else that really all it did was benefit the person selling them, not the solution.
And that's what we should be doing as entrepreneurs and business people.
You're supposed to be solving problems
in front of us and helping them solve a problem, not say, "Oh, here, go into this program. It's not going to really help what you came to me for, but just buy it. Just buy it. It'll work. Trust me, it'll work."
That's why that's one of the reasons why I was about to quit and walk away. I was so sick of this. Yeah. And Michael Butler actually said to me, he says, "Tim, when you're sick of something, it usually means it's time to make a change in the industry. And it's up to you to stand up and make that change."
Yeah.
I got to give kudos. I had a short conversation with Michael last week and just Michael got me to take a look at that and go, well, maybe I need to do this. And I never, 15 years ago when I started this, I never intended to build a website company. But building a website company is put so many more pieces clicking to line up.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. By taking the action to start this, how many other things that I was doing are now starting to click into place because the website company was the key to make it all work.
Yep.
And that's it. There's people out there trying to find what their key is to make it work. And I'm not going to be the guy. I mean, I'm big on my mastermind. You're in my mastermind. And I'm big on that. All right. If you're going to sign up for something, I want to know what it is. Because you told me what your goal was. All right. And when you tell me, "Tim, I've got this great program," I'm going to sit there and go, "Okay, great program. But how does that match your goal you told me?"
Mm-hmm.
And I have had people someone left my mastermind because they went against what I said and they ended up having to pay for and couldn't afford to pay for mastermind that was going to get them their goal.
Yeah.
No. Anyway. I'm off my rant. I'm done with my rant.
He's off a soapbox.
All right, your turn. Tell them what we do, and let's hang it up for a week.
I'm going to let you start.
Me? Okay. She wants to be able to go off of what I say because we all have website companies.
Go.
Simple, easy websites. We put your website up so you can make more money.
Yoo-hoo! I'm Katrina Garcia with KG Website Designs, and we're the caviar of the websites to help you make that website sing, make money, and talk to your clients, because that's the whole point. The content.
We're the steak and eggs, because we're the luxurious beginning. Steak and eggs in the morning, baby.
Exactly. We're here for all the people in between. I'm just saying. We're here to help you get this shit done. I'm just saying.
That should be the name of our podcast. Get shit done.
Yes, we're here to help you get shit done. And also, don't forget, how and when are you going to find your business G-spot?
Yep.
You might just find it here.
Hey, if you've not found your business G-spot yet, you need to come back next week.
Yep, you do. Remember what our name is.
Yeah.
Business G-spot.
Yep. Anyway.
Later.
All right, guys. Have a great week.